So good morning, good evening, I guess it is, for a few people around here. Welcome to Being Your Own CEO Success Circle. This is a very, very informal session this morning because it is totally and completely experimental. I would like to just let you know that as a result of the changes that Google has made about our not being able to set up our Hangouts on air from an event page within Google+, I came over to YouTube and set this session up from within the live streaming. And as we discovered in our discussions on Saturday, we've all talked about some of the things that we've noticed have disappeared and what we need to really see what we can do to compensate. The big thing is the marketing piece. How do we market this YouTube live streaming Hangout on air? How do we get the message out to people about it, and how do we invite them in? What do we do? So here's the first thing that I tried was I set the Hangout up. I opened it and went in and took the invite code, or I selected the there is an email selection there. So I selected that and put everybody's email in there. And one of the things I discovered was if you have a Gmail account, all I had to do is just start typing your name and it pre-filled just really quickly. So I sent that email, and I sent it to myself as well so I could see what happened. And so what we've discovered is that my thinking was I was sending an invitation to people to be able to come into the green room. That's what logically that should have happened. But then when we opened this morning, we noticed that the code had changed. So it's not the same one. So you can't go in ahead of time, select that, and send it out to people with an invitation. So it has to be done, it seems like, after you've even opened and started the Hangout on air. So that's the first thing. Then this morning, what I did was I went in and just sent the invitation in the usual way. And I see Barbara is here, so she must have got it. So it seems that your invitation to people that you want in the green room seems to be kind of a last-minute thing. So that's something that I'm kind of disappointed about, because, as you all know, I mean I suppose it's okay if there's only one person and there's going to be an interview or something like that. But for the model of this group, a group of people coming together, that's going to be a difficult thing. So the other thing that we talked about on Saturday was that on my website I have been able to embed this Hangout. I'm assuming that people are able to be watching it from there. I don't know that to be true. I opened up a comment stream at the bottom underneath my video on my website, hoping that somebody would put in some comments in there so that we'd know whether it was working or not. I also had a button. At first I had a button in there that said "Join the Green Room," and with our conversation about that, we decided that was too public and too chancy. That anybody coming there could come in and do some weird things. So I removed that. Vivek, yesterday we started talking about how to get the message out to anybody that we want to participate or to view or whatever. So we started thinking about using a calendar. Because you can create an event and invite lots of people from the calendar. Vivek, what I did was I sent everybody an email asking them if they want to be in that list. And there are several people who do not operate that way and did not want to be on that list. So I haven't done anything with that yet because I only sent that late last night. So I don't know whether the folks in the green room now, did you get that email? And
can I say two things? First, you are live on your website. I can see that on your website if I go, and your video is embedded on your website.
Thank you. Good.
Second one, with regard to the email that you just mentioned, I got that email, I read it, but for me what was missing there was, I suppose you were a bit rushed to send it, or I don't know what. It didn't say what I need to do, or there was no call to action, as it were.
I was hoping to just leave it. It was if you want to opt out, unsubscribe. Otherwise, you don't need to do anything.
But yeah, but typically unsubscribe to people who are associated, I mean, want to work with you, would mean, no, we don't want to unsubscribe. No. We like what you're providing us. There's why I don't want to unsubscribe. I'm fine with what you're saying. So
yeah.
But what you were actually saying was unsubscribe from the new list that you're trying to create. That part didn't come across at all.
Oh, so, I see. It wasn't clear enough.
Yeah.
Okay. However, our conversation, Vivek, was I was doing that so that I could create a group within Gmail, and then add that group to, and like open a calendar and add that group to the calendar. What I've discovered is you have to put those invitations in one email at a time.
Okay.
So if there's no way to just like if I were sending an email to somebody, I can choose a group, and it sends out an email to each person in that group. But within the calendar, it doesn't allow you to do that.
Okay.
So that appears not to be a solution either. So does Craig, are you still there? You're both muted and invisible. It seemed like you. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure about what you intended, because when I was creating this group, I just put people's names in, and all this stuff preloaded out of Google+.
Oh, all right.
I had 3 emails for you. So then, when I sent out an email to a group, it must have sent to all 3 of your emails.
I haven't figured out what the third one is yet, but it sent to sent to my business account, which is Who Marketing,
Yeah.
and it's sent to my Google account, which is the one that I like to use
Yeah.
for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I haven't figured out where the third one is yet. I haven't seen that.
Well, and I removed after you responded. I removed those other two, so I can't tell you what they were.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
So
even, that part's straightened out. But yeah. So I walked through the unsubscribe process. That was part of what I was doing for you.
Yeah.
Was so you could see
Thank
that
you.
the unsubscribe process was working. But also, I just want to make sure that I segment my email list.
Yeah.
And so, but this morning, when I went to get in, well, first I went to your community, and I was able to go to the community, and I was able to find the live stream, and it said that it was about to start.
Yeah.
So then I said, well, that's not right. And so I went to your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I clicked on that, and I got the same result.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I have a Chrome app running that pops up the Hangout list.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually I was invited to a video call in that. So that's how I joined.
A Hangout list.
Yeah. Well, it's the text Hangout.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. So eventually that popped up, and I was able to get to the Hangout from there. So
and the odd thing, Craig, was that before you came in, I saw your Hangout text box. Yeah, that's an extension, by the way. That little it's an extension to Chrome.
Yeah.
So it popped up after I invited you from within the Hangout. That a little box that popped up, and it said you may not be available.
Well, I have no idea why that happened.
and then I see it said Craig may not be on Hangouts right now. Your message will be seen later.
Okay.
But then,
well, since I was searching for it, I saw it immediately.
Right. So the question still becomes how do we compensate for that whole invitation piece that the Google Hangout event page provided?
Can the invite just be in the email?
Well, yes.
Then you just send the email, group email, and then it has everybody. They just click and join from that.
But that becomes it limits it down considerably compared to, like, if when we were in Google Plus and using an event page, you had all your circles. You could invite all your circles or selected circles to view and come to the Hangout event page to watch and participate. So this way you've got to have access to people's email. You have to create a process that allows them to give you their email address. So, and I've participated in Virginia's Hangouts. I think she does 2 or 3 things simultaneously. But there seems to be when you're trying to participate with her, there's about 3 or 4 steps you have to go through, which is very annoying. So the question is, how do we do this in a very simple way? Go ahead. I know you're trying to answer.
You are actually trying to combine too many things that are quite different in intent and purpose. So you can still do a Google Plus share and the intent there is to invite people to view your Hangout on air, not to be part of the green room, just to view.
Yeah.
So that you can do. There's no nothing stopping
Yeah.
you from doing that. As for inviting people into the green room, I think email is one way to do that. But if you want them to be reminded of the event, then you have to use the calendar.
Yeah. And to use the calendar, you have to enter each email individually.
I got a question.
So the other option is actually what you used to do previously, which is equivalent of the RSVP thing, which is you have a little form on your website there.
Yeah.
And there you have to ask them to fill in their email address and name, email address. That goes into a form automatically because of the code that is written behind the form, and that sends an email to them.
Okay, so
I've got a question.
So go ahead, Jay.
Vivek, is there a way to add, you know how you can create an event in your calendar and it has the little Hangout icon, but is there a way to, instead of adding people to that event individually by email or by name that's associated to your contact list, is there a way to add a circle, a G+ circle to that event?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Well, you know, I think you're, Vivek, you're I forget what they call it, a Google Rising Star? Is that what you are?
Yes.
Well, you should have some influence and just change this.
Yeah.
Just make it so.
You reminded me of the experience I had just last night. And this was a troll. Much different from you, of course, but troll nonetheless. And this person who claimed to be a female, no photo, nothing visible on the profile or anything like that, so claims to be a female, nothing else, no other details, but definitely a troll. Was kind of blaming Google for Google, you are not doing the job properly, was the tone that was taken. So I said, that's not the way to ask for help. Never. Even if you are a paying customer, you won't get any.
You won't get good results, for certainly.
Yeah, you won't get good results if you pick up the phone and start screaming at them. I mean, of course, at least you should start with something,
well,
and then explain.
Me,
then, if you get angry, that's okay. But if you start with a boo.
Yeah.
What bothers me is Google has said, okay, we're going to make a sweeping change, and they provided no solutions as to how to
Compensate.
Compensate, yes.
I know.
And that's what bothers me.
Well, that's what's bothering all of us. I don't know if you read my
yes,
my
I did.
post yesterday.
But yes. Google is not a market-driven company.
No.
It thinks it is.
No, Google is not a market-driven company. Google drives the market.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. Google drives the market. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
But if you expect the marketers to influence Google, then you're asking for too much.
Yeah. Well, but which is why I thought, well, I mean, let's just start the experimentation here and see what we can discover that would, you know, um, some way for us to be able to market our and make people aware. So right now, basically, what I could see, I saw actually a notice that Paul, who has been invited to come in, but I got a notification that he subscribed to my channel.
Oh, okay.
So
So he's in YouTube trying to figure out how to get in.
Well, likely, but some of the other things that I've
as I was saying the other day, rather than building Google Plus followers, we now need to concentrate on
building YouTube followers.
YouTube subscribers. Yes.
Yeah.
Because they are going to be two different. As such, if you look at the corporate structure, Google itself is now part of Alphabet, and YouTube is part of Alphabet. So these are two different companies who are owned by one big Alphabet.
That helps to clarify really well. That helps me understand.
Yeah. So that's what is happening. That's the reason why they are actually separating Google Plus from the ties with YouTube. That does not mean that the users, us, put a link ourselves there. We can create that link ourselves, but the company is not going to do it for you anymore. That's the
okay, and the other piece that
there is one okay. Before you continue, there is one likely easy way is Google Spaces. You could try Google Spaces, and this morning I watched a short tutorial by Oleg, who was talking about Spaces, and you could use that, but it does have a few things.
I too watched a video. I think it was Olaf or whatever his name is.
Oleg Moskalansky, yes.
Yes, and so I went looking for Google Spaces and tried to go in, and the message I got was, you have no access to Spaces. You are not something or other.
Because you are a Google Apps domain account, it needs to be enabled, and surprisingly, it's quite likely that you get it, I may not get it.
Well,
it also could be a location issue. Canada
no,
in place.
It's because yours is a Google Apps free edition, or as they call it, legacy edition. So I read a message saying that it is available for legacy edition, but not yet available for Google Apps for Work.
I think it's just because Canada is a third world country.
They're jealous of our health care and our beer.
I tell you, I certainly was way down the list when I got to get the Facebook Live for the same reason.
I still haven't got it. What do you mean? So I'm in the fourth world then?
Well, okay, so let's go back. I
need to go, Lolan. I sorry for interrupting, but I do need to jump on a meeting here. So thanks for inviting me, and food for thought. I'll have my.
Well, if you can think of any, and Jay, sometime later today, I was at a host meeting yesterday.
Yep.
And I would like to have a private conversation with you at some point.
Yeah, sure. So anytime this afternoon is fine with me.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Bye
So
now.
basically, what seems to be important to to do is to drive people, try to get people to your website
Yes.
to watch rather than on YouTube or on Google Plus or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
and don't forget this aspect. Lots of people are having problems embedding YouTube live video onto their website.
yeah,
That because they have to go through a few steps to
Yeah.
get there. So when I said your video is live on your website,
that's a celebration. Yeah. Well, I did go in and do all the things that were suggested, and for anybody who's outside watching, I do encourage you to go watch Vivek's instructional video that he posted in his YouTube channel on all the pieces that you need to do if you want to embed your YouTube Hangout on air onto your website.
Yeah.
So, but you see, my piece is from within my community, I've got lots of people coming in and wanting to join the community and wanting to learn how all of this stuff works. And so I want to be able. I want those people to be able to let me know that they would like to come into the green room and participate. And what I'm trying to do is think of a very simple, easy way for them to do that.
As for them expressing their wish to you, saying we want to join you in the green room, one easy way is to have a link on your Google Plus community, which says that if you want to join our weekly chats and so on, the Hangout, please leave a message in this section. So you have a section on the on your Google Plus community where it says that they can put a message there, and then you engage with them, converse with them, find out what they need to do or what they need to learn. Maybe they don't have a webcam, possibly. Or
there's all kinds of issues.
Yeah.
So, Vivek, I want to talk to Barbara and just sort of find out from her what her experience was, because she did respond to that email I sent out, and that was the email that I used by sending that message out in the first place. And she came back and said, please use this this email address to let me know. So were you, Barbara, were you referring to let me know about the next Hangout?
Yeah.
Or to let me know that I can, how to get into the green room?
Well, about the how to get in, because I thought last time we were talking about it's going to change, and so I didn't know when that was.
Yeah, so, that was last week.
Yeah. Well, no, I meant when it was gonna actually change.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we would not be going into a green room anymore. You know, maybe a blue room. You know, or some other kind of room. But I wasn't sure. You know, because I remembered, you know, last week we talked that it's going to be different. It's changing. So I wasn't sure how to get in, and I don't really use Google Calendar normally. I use Outlook, and I can start using it, but I don't know that everybody uses it, and so I don't get anything that comes in on a calendar. I always have a hard time finding it at the last minute, and I'm just jumping all over the place trying to get in. And I also went to the website and saw the live streaming stuff. Gonna start soon. It never started, and then I don't know what that was. And then, but then I heard that ringing, and I guess it was a call that you made, and that's what I saw on my email. and and then I just do it that way. Yeah.
So the reason the live streaming didn't start was we decided that my transmission, you can see my visuals are really bad today.
Oh.
And so we decided that it might make sense for me to go in and reboot, see whether that improved it any. It didn't. So that was why it was like I was in there, but then I went out. I left and rebooted my computer and then restarted. So that was the confusing piece probably.
Okay, that's why it never showed up there. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that Vivek, your point about if we want to be using Hangouts for our business, that we are going to have to learn a whole lot more about marketing through YouTube. So I've started that process, and I've looked at this and that and the other thing, and it's part of that whole subscribe. So if you like what somebody is posting in their YouTube, then you have to subscribe to their channel, and then you have to find the little and you have to hunt a little bit to find out where it is where you say you want to receive notification the next time this person posts something new to this channel. So that seems to be, that's as far as I've gotten. Okay.
But is there a question?
Well, I mean, for me, it still is. I'd much rather have somebody come to my website and watch than go to the YouTube channel to watch.
Yeah, agreed.
So.
You're not trying to build a YouTube followers. You actually want to build the visitors to your website and build the business. Yes, agreed. The only reason why I said you need to build the YouTube subscribers is because these two things are now separating. And
yes. So, no. And that your description of the company helps me to really understand what's happening here. So that was useful. And I guess and for those who happen to be sitting outside watching this, in order to be able to embed on your website, you must have activated AdSense and what was the other thing? Monetization. So that means that even now, mind you, you can turn the monetization off if you wish.
I think you mean AdWords, do you not, or is it AdSense?
And it's AdSense.
Okay.
Yeah. So the idea is, if I wanted to make money, if I wanted to increase the number of people who are following me within YouTube, and they watch my things, I can make money through AdSense if they if the viewer stays beyond this, what is it, the 3-second thing. So that means when you turn on that monetization, it means that every time somebody wants to watch your video, they have to go through this commercial.
Yeah, you could also, and this is a marketing trick that one can follow. Even in your live streaming, even in your Hangout on air, even in your discussions, you could say that something like now we might be going into a ad break, something like that.
Yeah.
And when the YouTube is uploaded there live, you can go through the YouTube and then say that at that point you can say insert an ad. You can allow YouTube to insert an
Yeah.
ad at that point.
Mhm.
So that allows you to not just have your Hangout on air seen by
Interrupt.
lots of people.
Yeah.
You are letting YouTube insert their advertisements, so YouTube will be happy, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you might even get some cents, pennies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've watched and listened to Steve Dotto over the last 2 years, and I mean, he was right up front in the early days about aiming for 100,000 YouTube subscribers, and he reached that. It took him a couple of years to get there, but he's over that now, and I mean, throughout, he always said, "Well, this is going to be one of the ways that I'm going to, add to my income." He was sworn to secrecy, not allowed to say how much he was making, but he always was right up front about that. If you subscribe, but I've never seen. I'm trying to remember. I mean, most of the videos that I get through, they come in a different way. So I don't get a YouTube ad on most of his stuff. So I don't know how he was able to make a living, or what he was able to do there, or maybe he just had certain things that he monetized. I don't know. But yeah. So I mean, this is a whole new ball game. And I mean, if we want to use Hangouts on air effectively, I guess we're going to have to learn a whole lot more about YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Barbara, did you have any questions? Am I answering any of the questions that you had?
Well, I guess I'm not sure how to regularly get in. I mean, I guess we don't know, because we're still, but the way I get in, just if I know it's just going to come in my email, I won't go hopping all over the place trying to look for it.
Yeah. Well, I may take Vivek's advice. So when I post the next Hangout or the invitation or into the community,
Okay.
maybe what I could do is invite people to say if they want to be invited into the green room, so that, because for me, I don't know who wants to come and who doesn't want to come. So I need some way to find out who I should invite once we're in here. And doing what you responded to this morning.
Oh yeah, the email and well then no, that ringing, that call. Yeah. That's how I knew. Otherwise, I didn't see anything this morning telling me. So then I started hopping around looking and.
So in order to put that into the text hangout that I found that said there's a video call you can join. How did you get those invitations?
Oh, me?
No, Lynn.
Who?
How did you get the invitations to be sent to me inside Google Plus?
All I did was within the Hangout, I chose the invite people button at the top.
Okay.
And I put your name in there.
All right, so that's the same way that you would do with the old one.
Yeah. But you see, you can't do that until after you've started.
Right.
So
does it have to be live, or it's not live yet?
I think it had to be live.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't need to be live. You need to be ready to go live. Let's put it that way.
All right, so they still allow you to come in before it starts. Okay.
Yeah. No, you can. Participants can jump in anytime, but
Well, I'm just looking for on Fridays. I have an informal chat, and so I invite people, and I'm just trying to figure out once I get this thing set up, how do I invite the group in on Friday nights?
Yes.
So
yeah, you need to.
and
You
we
need
never
to.
really go live. We just have a little informal hangout, and I use Hangouts on air. There's no reason why I can't use regular Hangouts, and not even worry about
Hang out
Yeah,
on here. Yeah.
hanging on an
yeah,
air. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
What's the difference?
There's Heidi said she forgot. There she is. Good morning, Heidi. We're really I think we're just about to wind down. So if you want to come in, if you've got any questions about this live stream YouTube thing, now's the time to pose them.
Yeah, thank you. I really am sorry that I forgot. I tried to switch on my camera, but it doesn't come on. So,
Yeah,
It's okay. We can hear you, so
we
you
can
can
hear you.
say.
We know you're there.
So if you want to know who's here,
I see that. I can see that. I see Barbara
who's
and,
here. Okay.
and Vivek and you.
Yeah. So we're still messing around trying to figure out how on earth to promote and advertise and bring people in to participate in this success circle.
Yeah.
Things that did not work.
Here's a question for.
No, I'm sorry. Should I just wait to hear the ring then, and then I would
Yeah.
just join that way instead of
Yeah.
jumping in? Okay.
Right
All
on.
right. I'll do that.
So Heidi, did you not receive? Did something not ring and invite you to come in?
You know what? I think it clicked before, but I just, there are so many things. The phone clicks and whatever, and I just wasn't aware that the time was so late. So I was in my work, and sometimes I actually ignore a little bit what is going on with all these bling, bling, blang, blung, blang. And so I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Anyway, I got one message from you, and I think, was it an email or was it a group message that you would try out new ways of inviting?
You got that message that we were what was behind that. The idea was maybe for as a way to let people know something was going to happen was to create a Google Calendar event and put people's emails in there, and then the calendar would send you an email which you're able to say yes, no, or maybe.
Yeah.
But
this could work for people who you know that they would participate, but not for people who might find you by chance, no?
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think that's exactly what I was suggesting to Loveland. Those who want to jump into green room, only them. You don't need the.
Well, Lolan, I need you to check that if you want to try that. I need my calendar doesn't. They've expunged most of the functionality that my calendar seemed to have. So,
really?
Yeah. So I don't seem to get notifications for any Hangouts or anything anymore, which is fine. But I just, I use Calendar for other things now.
Well, if you want, we can test that. I can. Let me see. What would I do? I would start.
Start a live Hangout and invite me via Calendar, and then I would come in via the Calendar.
Yeah.
So we could try and see if it worked, and we could have a Hangout working, and you say, okay, I sent this, and look in your calendar, and if I look in the calendar, I would join that way. And
yeah.
But
well, that's what we were what we were trying to do. So I don't know, does everybody, I have time this morning. Does everybody have time if we stop the broadcast, close this out, and I started another test one and went that route? Would you be able to sort of watch and see what happens and come in?
I can. I've got a call coming in to me real soon, so I'm going to have to go in anyway.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, but I would try it some other time. Okay.
Well, another time, and I'm glad you made it in here, Barbara.
Yeah, me too. I always do. I just run around and look everything until I get it.
I see Nathan in the background all of a sudden. Oh, there he is.
Better late than never. Hello.
Have you been watching from outside?
All right, see you, everybody.
Okay.
No, I wasn't. Not really. I knew the Hangout, but I was out for a bit, and I just got back.
Okay. So I guess you'll have to watch the recording. We're going to stop the recording now. You'll have to watch the recording to see what has transpired. This was an experiment. We are about to start another experiment. If you have time, I'll include you.
Sure.
So Heidi, what about you? Do you have a minute to if we do that?
Yeah, I'm sitting here, and if I hear it or get it, then I will let you know. Mm-hmm.
Well, but it might come in as something, an email.
Yeah.
If I set this up and set it up so that you get invited in, it will come as an email that will say that you've been invited to a meeting.
Okay.
And then you say yes, no, or maybe, and that would add it to your calendar.
I will see.
And so in that message, I'll have to give you the link. So let's see if that works.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So Nathan, do you want me to include you?
Sure, why not? I can hang around for a little bit.
Okay, so we're going to close this and just hang around and keep an eye on your emails, see what happens.
Okay, sure. Okay.
All right.
Okay, see ya.
I'm going to stop the